Hello everyone, I'm Akanksha Mishra and you are watching TND Academy, where ISO standards meet real-world success. In today's episode, we are breaking down something crucial yet often overlooked in organizations, the training plan. But we are not just talking about random workshops or tick-the-box training calendars. We are talking about a structured, step-by-step ISO 10015-based training plan that focuses on actual competency development and measurable improvement. Whether you are a training coordinator, HR leader, or a quality manager, this guide will help you build a results-driven plan that aligns with ISO 10015 principles and delivers real value. Let's get started. Step 1. What ISO 10015 really expects from you. Before jumping into planning, you need to understand what ISO 10015 demands. It is not just about conducting training. It is about creating a systematic approach to developing competence. The ISO 10015 standard revolves around 4 core stages: identifying training needs, designing training, delivering training, and evaluating outcomes. It is about ensuring that training leads to actual performance improvement, not just good attendance. Every phase in your plan must support these stages. If it doesn't, your plan is likely to fail, both practically and during audits. Step 2. Identifying training needs like a pro. This is where your plan truly begins. The biggest mistake companies make is assuming training needs instead of analyzing them with data. Start with a job analysis. Break down what each role in the company is responsible for and identify the skills and knowledge required. Then assess where the gaps lie. This can be done through interviews, observations, performance reviews, self-assessment, or skill audits. Importantly, involve the managers in this process. They have the closest view of real skill gaps. The result should be documented training needs analysis, that is TNA, that links specific training to business and performance goals. Step 3. Designing a structured and smart training plan. Once needs are identified, design your training plan accordingly. The design should be specific, targeted, and outcome-based. For each training program, define the objective, the target audience, the method of delivery, the duration, and the expected outcomes. Also include resources needed such as trainers, materials, software, and venues. Choose the best delivery method, be it in person, online, on the job, or hybrid. Each component of your design should map back to the specific need identified earlier. ISO 10015 prefers planned, purposeful, and documented training design, so avoid generic, one-size-fits-all formats. Step 4. Delivering training that actually sticks. Now comes execution. Even the best training plan fails if delivery is poor. ISO 10015 emphasizes effective delivery, which means engaging content, qualified trainers, and learner participation. Prepare your trainers well, conduct the trainer sessions if needed. Keep the sessions interactive with real-world examples, group tasks, discussions, and simulations. For technical roles, emphasize hands-on learning. For soft skills, focus on reflection and practice. If online, use tools like quizzes and breakout rooms to maintain attention. Remember, training must be practical, personalized, and participatory to succeed. Step 5. Evaluating effectiveness the ISO way. This step is often missed, but ISO 10015 treats it as essential. Evaluating effectiveness means more than collecting happy sheets. You need to assess what learners actually gained, how their behavior changed, and whether results improved. Use pre- and post-training assessments to measure learning. Use Kirkpatrick's 4 levels: reaction, learning, behavior, and results to structure your evaluation. Observe performance changes over weeks or months and collect manager feedback to understand impact. This data should be part of your training report, and it also helps justify your training budget to senior leadership. Step 6. Documentation that is audit ready. Now let's talk paperwork, not just for ISO auditors, but for internal learning continuity. Every part of your training plan must be documented. This includes your TNA reports, learning objectives, participant list, trainer credentials, feedback forms, evaluation data, and any corrective actions taken. Store this in a digital repository or training management system. Not only does this help in passing ISO audits, but it also builds a strong learning culture in your organization. Remember, if it is not documented, it didn't happen, at least in the eyes of ISO. Step 7. Follow up and continuous improvement. Training doesn't end after delivery. ISO 10015 encourages ongoing competence development, which means you must follow up. Assign mentors to reinforce learning, arrange refresher modules every few months, and encourages peer learning environments. Re-evaluate performance after training and compare with your initial goals. Gather insights and use them to refine your next round of training plans. This continuous feedback loop helps build a learning organization, one that grows with change rather than reacts to it. Training that transforms, not just informs. To wrap it up, we can say that a good training plan is not about doing more. It is about doing it right. ISO 10015 gives you a clear structure to follow, from identifying needs to evaluating results. If followed well, it not only strengthens your ISO compliance, but also transforms your workforce into a competitive asset. A well-designed ISO 10015-based training plan ensures that every rupee or dollar you spend on training translates into real, visible improvement. So take the time, follow the steps, and build a plan that works not just on paper, but on the ground. If this guide helped you, like and share the video with your HR or training team. Drop a comment if you are now confident to build a strong training system. Subscribe to TNV Academy for more expert ISO content made simple, practical, and real-world ready.